Itinerant teachers, if you are not using this one software to its fullest capabilities, I guarantee you are wasting so much of your precious time. Welcome back to my series, Productivity Tips for Teachers. I'm going to be sharing with you exactly how I manage my calendar, how I track my data in less than a minute, and how I make sure that all of my student stakeholders know exactly where that student is along their progress at any single given time. Now, if you want to know how to make it so that way you can copy and paste your progress reports, which is the dream, and I have figured that out, come into our Clarity membership where I will walk you through lesson mapping so that way you can set everything up all the way from the IEP to make it so that you don't have to guess ever again. I love that. But for today, Google Suites. If you are somebody who's used Google Suites for a while, I might show you something new. But if you're brand new to Google Suites, I also don't want you to fret. I'm going to be walking you through how I use my calendar, how I set up my data collection forms, and how I link those data collection forms to my calendar and share access with the people who need it, but keep the access away from people who don't. Ready to dive in? So in the last videos, I showed you how to make a to-do list and how to cross things off that you can delete, automate, or delegate. Great. And then in the last video, I showed you how I use the Eisenhower Matrix to take my to-do list, prioritize it, and then put it on my calendar. So in the name of batching all of my tasks, I've made my to-do list, I've categorized everything, and now I'm moving into my Google Calendar. You can see my Google Calendar here. I like to use a ton of different calendars for different parts of my life. So this is what a calendar might look like if I had a bunch of students, if I were teaching full time. First and foremost, my lunch is on there every single day. That gets put in around my students. So I make sure that I have lunch already scheduled before I schedule any students, and then I move it around, of course. But as long as it's there, it doesn't get forgotten about. I also have like family calendars. I also have summer calendar and my personal calendar. And then because I'm the CEO of the Society of Exceptional Educators, I also have that as well. Lots of different calendars. Don't let it overwhelm you. But if you're a calendar girl like me, then enjoy. So I'm just going to show you the stuff that you need to know right now. As you can see, I put my meditations and all my workouts on my calendar first thing, my family time, my dance classes, happy hour, and even dancing, my personal time, that gets on there first. And then I fill in my students here. And so there's just like a mix of different meetings. You can use the calendar however you want. That's for a whole other situation. And you can find other videos about that. What I like to do then is make sure that all of my students are on my calendar. I also have any staff trainings I need to do, any meetings that I need to be in, and things of that nature. Now, let's get into data. This is so interesting to me that so many people don't take their data this way. And what I'll say about that is when you switch over from either a spreadsheet or taking it manually or just not taking your data, your life is going to change. I pinky promise. I've been doing this for 20 years. I've been an orientation and mobility specialist since I was 21, 22. I'm in my 40s now. It's been a minute. It's been a minute in this field. This is not a second career for me. I just came right in. And I've made a lot of mistakes. I've also been lots of different people along the way. Just single person, mom, single mom, and CEO. And I need the most proficient way to do it. So this is how I like to do it. I create a form. And if you want this template, come into the society and make sure you ask for it. And we will send you over the template. We typically give it away with certain products throughout the year. You can look and see that I have my student, district, year data. I like to set it up by student. That just seems to be the best for me. And then I'll make that one template, and then I'll make all my students their own forms. I have the date, the time, then the service minutes, and the service type. We'll get into that in a second. Then the next section, I have my direct services, my goal, and my data. I keep this short answer because I know what my goal is. So I'll just quickly write it. And I will then take my data in a way that I want to copy and paste it into my progress reports. Then I have my indirect section. I'm currently contract O&M, so I have different things on here. If you have a full-time teaching job, you might have different needs for your indirect service time. And then I have one section for notes. I've tried adding sections for notes in multiple places. Just do one section for notes. What that ends up doing is it then creates a spreadsheet. And that spreadsheet, if you have it by student, you can then just take that spreadsheet and copy the URL, go over to your calendar, and in the calendar point or calendar event of that student, you can then link it either by Google Drive or here. Insert the link. There you go. Now you can also add guests to it. Okay, say I need to add my boss. Then now the boss, maybe the parents, anybody else who needs to know anything that I'm doing, they have the information right there. I hope you can use this information to help you take a step forward in being a more productive teacher this year, whether you are teaching students with visual impairments or whether you are teaching just general ed classroom, whatever the case may be. It was so nice to be able to hang out with you. Keep hanging out with us, my friend. Hit the subscribe button, and we will see you next week.